Welcome to my lesson, Introduction to the Nauruan Language. In this video, I will share with you information about the history of the language, the alphabet, the pronunciation, and some Nauruan words. Enjoy! First of all, I need to mention that Nauruan language is spoken by 90% of the population, or about 9,000 people. However, it is the native language of only 6,000 people on Nauru. Most people in the country speak English. So English is used widely, including in the government. So it means that if you visit Nauru, you would be able to communicate with the locals in English in case your Nauruan is not that good. There are also minority groups on the island that speak Chinese, Kiribati, and other languages, as well. By the way, did you know that Nauruan is considered to be one of the most difficult languages in the world? You will notice why when I tell you more about its grammar. Scientists have not reached a consensus on the question if Nauruan is an Austronesian language or a Micronesian language, because the language has features typical for both groups of languages. Until recently, Nauruan language was only spoken but not written. Just 120 years ago, an alphabet was created by Christian missionaries, in particular, Philip Adam Delaporte. He also wrote a dictionary of the Nauruan language in the beginning of 20th century. At that time, religious texts were translated from German to Nauruan. In 1907, the New Testament was translated into Nauruan. In case there was a word that did not exist in Nauruan language, a German word was used, for example the German word Buch, which means a book in English. Actually, before the Nauruan alphabet existed, there were many different dialects and words variations on Nauru, even if by that time Nauru's population was just around 1,500 people. When people started writing texts in Nauruan, the spoken language became more unified and people understood each other more easily in it. Now let's move to the alphabet of Nauruan language. Originally, there were only 17 letters used, 5 vowels and 12 consonants. However, they were not sufficient for writing different sound combinations, so several more letters were added to the alphabet. This is how the Nauruan alphabet looks nowadays. It has 30 or 28 letters depending on the way you count in. You can see that there are 2 letters put in brackets. V and Z are actually not used in words nowadays. There were a few language changes that occurred. Some letters were replaced by others in order to simplify the writing of Nauruan words and loanwords. For example, J became Y, the combination B plus U became B plus W, and so on. In fact, if you read older texts written in Nauru, you can see that the letters on the left are used. Even nowadays some people write in this, so to speak, older variation. However, it is easy to understand the meaning of the words written in such a way, especially if you are a native speaker. I will give some examples in the next few seconds. So, it is time to pay attention to some Nauruan words. I will make a comment on some of them. For example, the first word, Nauru, the name of the country in Nauruan, means I go to the beach. You can see how the word flag is written. It contains N plus G sound and also the letters N and G. Before, it was written with only the NG sound that looks like the Spanish letter N with a tilde. You can also pay attention to the word Buima, which means home. This word is in the title of the national anthem of Nauru, Nauru Buima, or Nauru, our homeland. You can take a look at some more Nauruan words. In the case of the word work, I found several spellings and I am posting them all, because they will be of help for our next lesson when I will be talking about some interesting things in the Nauruan language. You can take a look at the word ye, or, to eat. Before, the word was written with a letter combination IJ instead of Y, and even in some online texts you can find it written in the old way. The same refers to the word rion, or sing. Nowadays 2 letters, N plus G, are used to spell it. Before, only the letter N with tilde was written instead. It is quite interesting that many words in Nauruan are loanwords. We already mentioned the word Buch, taken from German. Here you can find some more German words that are used in Nauruan. But the biggest amount of the loanwords are from the English language. You can see in these examples how the Nauruans have written the English words in a way that is easier for them to pronounce. You can see that they use the letter B instead of V. Remember that the letter V is not used nowadays? Also, they replace T with D or L with R. You will see more examples like that in a while. Just take a look at these words. They sound familiar, don't they? Nauruans seem to have taken the definite article in English and placed it in the beginning of the words. I will show you how Nauruans replace some letters in the English words with letters that are more typical for Nauruan. Here you have some examples of countries' names. Basically, Nauruans preserve the English pronunciation, but substitute letters like L, D, V and F with the letters R, T, B and P. Now, it is time to talk about the numbers. Here you can see the numbers written in the new style. Before, some of the forms contained the old letters that we already discussed when we talked about the changes in the Nauruan alphabet. So, here are the numbers from 1 to 10, and it is important to remember them, because they will help us to form also the numbers between 11 and 20. Let us take a look at them too. You already noticed that Ada is 10 in Nauruan. So, in order to form the numbers between 11 and 20, you just need to say Ada, then add the particle consisting of letters M and A, and then say one of the numbers between 1 and 9. For example, 12 would be Ada ma aro, or something like 10 and 2 or 10 plus 2. 19 would be 10 plus 9 or Ada ma adu. That was easy, wasn't it? The numbers from 20 to 30 are also easy to form. Use the word for 20, or anarama, add the particle ma and then say the number from 1 to 9. For example, 23 would be anarama ma ayu, or 20 plus 3. 26 would be anarama ma ango, or 20 plus 6. You can also form the numbers up to 100 using this method. Just use the number for the decimal, add the particle ma and then add the number from 1 to 9. You can see that 100 is Ibu in Nauruan. However, this does not help us to form the hundreds such as Ada and Anarama helped us. Learn these numbers by heart. Down below, you can see the word for 1000 or Oranga. And now, some bigger numbers. So, here you have Oranga, which means 1000. To say 10,000, you just add the word for 10 in front of 1000, so it becomes Ada. Irangan. There is a slight change in the pronunciation of Oranga here. Then, to say 100,000, you need to add the number for 100, or Ibu, and then say again Irangan. And 1 million is actually formed as we say Oranga Irangan, or, literally, 1,000,000. That was my lesson on Nauruan language. It was just an introduction and I hope it was interesting. A second part follows and in it, I plan to talk about some interesting things I encountered in the Nauruan language. Stay tuned and have a nice day.